Hi guys, Brian from Brian Boas here. I want to give you an update on my 2020 boa breeding season and how my pairings are going. So far things are moving along quite nicely since the last one of these updates I did a few weeks ago. And hopefully I should have a really productive 2020 baby boa season in a few months when the births are going to start to happen. So of my 8 pairings, so far I've had 2 females who've given me a post-ovulation shed and possibly a third. So those females, hopefully the babies are developing nicely as we speak. I have 2 more females and possibly another female that are right now going into shed, and they should be shedding shortly, and that will be their post-ovulation shed. And then I have a couple other females that are paired up, and I'm not quite sure if those pairs are going to take. I just have to see. So in a minute I'm going to go and we'll take a quick look at some of these pairings and how they're going right now. But first I just wanted to acknowledge that I'm really happy that the Brian Boas YouTube channel has reached a milestone of 1,000 subscribers. I want to thank everybody for all your support during this whole project and all the input that you've given me on the videos, as well as for tuning into my videos and giving me lots of suggestive comments and feedback. So I plan on continuing to produce videos at a rate of about 3 a week. I'll continue the subject matter of videos on specific localities and specific morphs of boa. I'll have videos on general topics and on keeping and breeding boas. And then I'll also have topics on my commentary on different issues in the world of herpetoculture. And a lot of you have given me really good comments and suggestions, and some of these comments I'm actually working on making videos of that topic right now, either in my head or on paper, and hopefully they should make it to the small screen in the next couple months. But I'm always open to your suggestions, so please, if you have any ideas for videos, please shoot me a line and let me know what you're thinking, and I'll do my best to try to accommodate the topic. In addition, I just want to let everyone know that the opinions and the experiences I present here are my own experiences based on working with the boas, and what I describe works really well for me, but I know that everyone's circumstance is a little bit different. So you might not agree with some of my opinions or experiences. And if that's the case, I encourage you to add to the comments. When I set up this channel, I wanted this to be kind of a central place where people could go for information about boas in a very easy, accessible format that you can just watch a quick video, get some opinions, and then hopefully read comments of other people and hear about their opinions. So I really appreciate it if you can comment on videos if you have a specific experience about the topic that's presented, because it really adds to the value of these videos, and the information is really useful for the people that tune into this channel. So with that, I look forward to our next 2,000 videos, or next 1,000 videos to get to 2,000, and let's go take a look at some of my 2020 pairings. Let's check on my Hog Island female. So this girl had a post-ovulation shed about a week or so ago, and since then she's just been kind of coiled above her hot spot. So there she is. She's also looking pretty thick now. Looking pretty good that she's gravid just based on her size and her habit of just lying over the hot spot, typically in a pretty well coiled position to minimize heat loss. And I've been checking on her every couple days and just checking the temps, and she's been around 88 or so. So I've got my handy infrared, or my handy laser thermometer here. Just going to do a quick temperature reading. So yeah, just about 88 degrees. So hopefully the babies are cooking away nicely, and a few months from now she'll give birth. Now I'm going to check on my long-tail boas, boa constrictor longicauda. And so this female, I noticed they were tail to tail the other night, and it looked almost like she was opaque going into maybe her post-ovulation shed. But curiously, you wouldn't expect them to still be actively mating if she was already had ovulated. So not quite sure. Let's just take a quick look at them. So well, it looks like they're still together, although I don't think they're tail to tail. And she doesn't look opaque. Her eye is kind of cleared up, so maybe she's already cleared up and she'll shed in a few days. Or maybe she actually wasn't going into shed. Not quite sure, but I'm just going to leave this pair together for a little while until she goes into shed and sheds, and then hopefully she'll start to behave like she's gravid. So I haven't bred these before. We'll just have to see what happens. Next, I'm going to check on my Tarahumara pair, and this female is now in shed, which I believe is her post-ovulation shed. So I still have the male in there. I don't know if you can see, but yeah, she's definitely in shed right now. The male was showing interest up until probably about a week or so ago. I'll probably leave him in there a few days after they shed. She'll likely shed in about another week or so. The post-ovulation shed typically takes a little longer than a regular shed. And so typically I will leave the male in a little bit longer after the presumed post-ovulation shed, because if she's really gravid, he's not going to show any interest. And I want to just make sure that I didn't pull the male out too soon. So my Quaquille female also is going into shed, which I believe is the post-ovulation shed. So the male is still in there. You can see the male is quite a bit smaller than the female. He looks almost tiny by comparison. My female's pretty big for a crawl, whereas the male is maybe a little over 3 feet. He's tiny. So I'm fairly sure she's in the post-ovulation shed cycle right now, and she should be shedding in about a week or so. This female bred for me back in 2017, and I actually have a new male that I got about 2 years ago in there with her now, and I paired them up last year and wasn't successful, but the male's shown quite a bit more interest this year, so I'm really hopeful that this litter will take and I'll have some baby Quaquille likely sometime around early to mid-August. Next, I want to look at my Pearl Island, my Saboge boa constrictor pair. And this one, my female actually shed about a month ago, which seemed to be a little too early for post-ovulation shed. So I've kept the male together with her. You can see that's the male on the outside. I think she's in the hide here. I just want to make sure that I don't pull the male out too early. So the female has been kind of coiled up over the hot spot, and she is looking a little thicker. She doesn't look huge though, like some of my other gravid females that I've seen before. So I'm probably going to pull the male out shortly because they really haven't shown any interest, and I'm pretty sure that if she is gravid, that leaving in, or that she's probably gravid, and it's time that I can pull the male out. She doesn't look that big, but with these Saboge boas, they have small litters. My litter last year with my other female was only 5 babies. So I'm guessing that if this one is gravid, that I'll probably have a similar size litter. It's also her first litter, which is usually on the small side. But this actually might be my first litter for this year because she did shed quite a while ago. But I'll just check in on her and make sure she's staying nice and warm and the babies are really cooking well in there. So lastly, I want to check in on my boa constrictor, my true red tail pairings. And this is my Venezuelan, my Tamata Mata Venezuela pairing. And I'm pretty confident that this female is now gravid. You know, she shed a few weeks ago and she's been looking quite thick, just kind of coiling over the hot spot, so she's not moving around very much. I stuck the mail back in there and really haven't noticed any interest on the part of the mail. So I'll go ahead and take the mail out shortly here and just, continue to monitor her and make sure that she's staying nice and warm. And hopefully I may have some of these Venezuelan babies sometime around August. I have a couple other BCC pairings, including a Peruvian pair that I've been getting a lot of inquiries about. I haven't really noticed that much activity from my other BCC pairings, so it might just take a little bit longer, or I might not be successful with those this year. My Peruvian that I have hooked up or paired up this year was not successful when I tried to breed her 2 years ago, but she's with a different male this time, so we'll just have to see. And then sometimes I don't really see much activity with the true red tails. I've had litters before where I rarely or even never witness any kind of copulation or any kind of activity. Just have to be patient and leave the male and female together and then hope for the best. So we'll see what happens. So that's a look at the latest on some of my 2020 pairings. As I mentioned, I'll have regular updates on these pairings on this channel every few weeks or so. So please stay tuned if you're interested in a specific pairing. Lastly, I wanted to end the video just by discussing about these babies. I've been getting some people interested in possibly getting babies from my 2020 pairings, and they've been asking about getting onto waiting lists and putting deposits on them and things like that. And I just briefly wanted to outline my policies. So I don't do waiting lists or deposits. My policies are that animals are available on a first come, first served basis once they are feeding and established and ready to go. And typically it's about 2 months or so until the animals are ready to go. They have to be feeding at least 4 or 5 times and in perfect health before I'll ship them out. Once animals are established and ready to go, I'm pretty flexible on payment arrangements. I will do payment plans with a 25% down payment to hold the animal, with the remainder due in about 3 months or so, assuming that the weather is warm enough for the animal to ship. And if it happens that it's the winter time, I'll gladly hold the animal for you and continue to feed and care for it until the spring comes and it's warm enough to ship. So please stay tuned to these updates if you're interested in a specific animal, and I'll let you know how things are going. Thanks for tuning in. Please, if you have any questions or comments, you can shoot me a message via social media, and enjoy your boas.